Round here, them guns get the last word.
I am a person who's been playing Tekken for over a decade. I dabbled a little bit with 3, 4, 5, more so just playing it at a cousin house, sharing the controllers and so on and so forth. Tekken 6 is the first one that I really played on my own. That's when I discovered my main character Yoshimitsu, but then once again I was borrowing the game, I had to give it back to a cousin. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was the first time ever I personally owned Tekken, and I played it every day. I was absolute trash at the game. I bounced between many characters, but I always had Yoshimitsu as a primary and all the other characters as a secondary. While I didn't improve much as a player, I was more so having a lot of fun with the game. And when people say things like Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is fun and how did it fail, I feel that so much in my soul because that Tekken alone is the one that brought me into the franchise. Now, as Tekken 7 started to release, what I did was instead of playing 2 characters, I only focused on 1 character, that character being Yoshimitsu. And after so much struggle, trial, and error, also learning, over the course of Tekken 7, my Yoshimitsu got really good. Now, when you talk about Tekken 8, my progression through the ranks was kind of slow. I was hovering around Tekken King, I was hovering around Tekken Emperor, but just recently, probably like 3 weeks ago, I decided to get serious. I really wanted to push myself and try to achieve the Tekken God rank. And that goal that I set for myself ended up being way harder, way more frustrating, way more challenging than I initially thought. It resulted in this tweet here, where I say, go on an 8-win streak, then lose 2 times, and all your progress is gone. Tekken 8 rank is low-key trash. Now, this was the most scrub, quote, angry, frustrated tweet that I've probably ever made. But as you can see, it has 1,000 likes. This tweet popped off. A lot of people was also agreeing with me in the comment section. And at the same time, across Twitter, there was many other people who were saying the same thing about ranks. But here's the thing as well. There was people who were saying different things about the ranking system in Tekken 8 as a whole. It varied from people who are low ranks to people who are mid ranks, my rank, and even the top players. The fact that there's so many different critiques of Tekken 8 on so many different levels, I do think at the end of season 1, starting season 2, they should try to massively overhaul it. Just want to show you another tweet here that kind of caught my attention. Osan, one of the greatest players on the planet, he says, be honest, there is no motivation on ranked match. Cherryberry Mango, another legendary player, says Tekken 8 should have a new rank system. There are a ton of players who reach God of Destruction, but no motivation for players to play ranked match more when they made God. Those players are who played the game very consistently, but after a few months they already finished their rank. Somehow, like within 1-2 weeks, everyone, all of the content creators, top players were already God of Destruction. Now, of course, all of us are still on that journey, but for them, they completed it very long ago. And some of them set a even higher rank where they want to get as many match points as possible. Joka, probably like 3-4 weeks ago, hit 1 million. There was other people who started to do it immediately after. For the top level players, they are losing interest in rank and it feels like there's no reason to play it. But then when you take it a step down, the people in my area, Tekken King, Tekken God, Tekken Emperor, stuff like that, we are dealing with our own frustrations with the game, and it's really based on how the point scaling is dished out. For example, going back to my tweet, right? I was playing very solid in rank. I was like going on 8-win streaks, 6-win streaks, but all of a sudden I would get matched up against a Tekken God of Destruction, right? But then I would lose against that God of Destruction and I would lose 700 points. It is absolutely soul crushing to experience that. You're playing a game for an hour and a half, and you're killing it. And then you get matched up with someone who is like one of the best players on the planet, and then they reset your whole progress. So for me, I felt like that was very unfair, and I felt like it was very like annoying generally. I understand the reason why they do it is because they want you to play perfectly. You really have to prove yourself to get to God of Destruction rank. And for me, it's not really about that, because I got demoted a couple of times, right? So when I dropped down to like Tekken King and Tekken Emperor and even into the blue ranks one time, to still get matched up with a God of Supreme or a God of Destruction and they still take 700, 600 points away, at that point I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous. Like, I am so far away from those guys. Like, stop setting me back an hour, 2 hours into my playtime. And that's just the frustration that I was feeling. But then if you go lower under me, like if you go to that Fujin area, to that purple rank area, there's a new complaint that comes up. And you have to talk about the Tekken prowess matchmaking. So I think the developers changed it to Tekken prowess matchmaking because there isn't that many players online, and trying to match you up with someone who has the same rank as you is probably difficult and will result in long load times, search times. And they probably did Tekken prowess instead because there's a bigger like net of people who fit into, let's say, 150,000, 200,000, right? You could cast a bigger net of players with that and pull them into a match. The negative side of that is what happens is people who play multiple characters, their Tekken prowess is inflated because you're taking the prowess of each individual character and adding it together for your whole profile. So your profile, which has like 5 characters, is going up against a god who mains 1 character, and you're going to get clapped up. And like I said before, you're going to get your progress reset. You also got to talk about the 3 loss punishment.
GG's. Easy. Hell yeah, gaming. Oh shit. Wait, can we just talk?
There isn't no name for it. This is something that the developers did not tell us about. They did not explain. We just bought the game, played it ourselves, and we were blindsided by this feature. And basically what it is, when you play someone who is either your same rank or 1 rank above or below you, if you lose 3 times or if you win 3 times, you gain like 1,000 points, 1,200 points, or you can lose that amount. Now, a lot of people are aware that that's there, but there's also some people who aren't aware that that is a thing. And those players are the ones who are truly frustrated. When you talk about doing good in rank, clapping up people, and then all of a sudden you're on your 3rd loss, but you don't realize it because there is no indicator or explanation in the game at all. When you lose that and you lose 1,200 points, once again, people just feel like it's kind of like cheap, right? So when you massively overhaul rank, which is the most populated game mode in Tekken, you should explain all of these things, but then also you should try to give the players at the top something else to fight for, something else to work for. Something that I also thought about while editing this video is the topic of one and dones. This is something that personally doesn't bother me. Like, I choose who I want to rematch and not rematch. You can send me however many messages you want through PlayStation. I'm not going to rematch you if I don't want to. But also, there's the other group of players, the other side of the fence, who thinks that if you don't rematch, you are despicable. Now, I said before that having someone go up against one person and mandatory you can lose 2 points, like how we talked about a God of Destruction. If you go up against a God of Destruction and you lose twice, that's 1,400 points. A lot of people want to be able to leave that God of Destruction because they shouldn't be fighting them. And I think that's why Tekken allows people to leave the first 2 set. If they want to make the entire set mandatory, then you should get points based on who wins the set and not each individual match. Whenever we bring an issue, they try to address it. And I love that about the developers, and that's what makes complaining about things or talking about things worthwhile, because you do have the ability to make a positive impact on the game overall. And in my opinion, that's what it's always about. It's always about making a positive impact and not necessarily just like being toxic, right? I want the rank system to improve. I want the game to improve. I want players to feel motivated. I want players to feel like their rank is earned, they're not being robbed, and all of these things, right? We have to discuss it in order for the developers to understand it, and then they could go and change it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and bye-bye.